Hello everyone and welcome back to the XRP Insider channel as with you. Always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP, so I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Wherever you are in this great world, we're going to talk about XRP, and I'm only doing one video for today. This weekend's going to be a busy weekend. It's my wedding anniversary as well this weekend, but I'm also working on a project, a massive network at the same time. So I'm going to be back tomorrow with 3 videos like I usually make. But I wanted to definitely give you a market update, and I want to show you whether or not we are in alt season as well. So we're looking at XRP on the 1-day chart, sitting at $245. Finally, we're starting to get some upward movement on XRP. Now, we could still see a pullback happen, but it is nice to see XRP up 2.54% today. And if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's sitting at 111,343 Bitcoin, has been achieving a new all-time high. After new all-time high, because we are still in Bitcoin season, we are not in alt season yet. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But a lot is happening for XRP as well. We have so many catalysts for this cryptocurrency going forward. And that's why I said, we've been through the worst of it. We are about to enter the exciting time. And all you got to do is nothing, just sit back and watch it happen. And if you look at the Bitcoin dominance right now, it's dropping a little bit, but people are expecting the Bitcoin dominance to still push upward a little bit going into June. And then sometime in June, it's going to really start to break down. That's what most of the chart guys are expecting to happen. I would agree with that. I think this cycle for Bitcoin, it's most likely going to top sometime in July or August. A lot of people are calling that the Bitcoin maxes even. Think that's where the top is going to come in. But like I said, we are not in alt season. It's Bitcoin season still. But the fact that XRP is still sitting here above $2, that's very bullish because this is where I think we are. As far as XRP, I think we're on this first move up. We're going to see some upward movement. And then the massive run up. And I think that's going to start later this year. I even asked Grok, when is alt season going to begin? While predictions vary, the most likely window for alt season, 2025, appears to be March to June 2025, with a potential extension into Q3 to Q4 2025. If Bitcoin dominance peaks and microeconomics conditions align, early signs of old season emerged in November to December 2024, but a sustained rally may depend on Bitcoin stabilizing Ethereum's performance and regulatory developments like ETF approvals. However, a selective alt season favoring fundamentally strong altcoins like eSol XRP is more likely than a broad rally, and some analysts warn of a weaker or absent alt season due to Bitcoin's persistent dominance. I honestly think they are wrong. I think this is going to be the strongest alt season we have ever seen because there's so many catalysts lining up for XRP already. And the events to watch are actually the ETF approval, regulatory clarity happening, the case coming to a complete end. That's all going to favor XRP. Even the stable coin bill that's going to benefit XRP more than it's going to benefit Bitcoin. When will season end? Predicting the exact end of an old season is challenging due to the volatile nature of cryptocurrency markets and the influence of numerous factors like Bitcoin dominance. Now remember, everybody's expecting Bitcoin dominance to start to drop in June. Market sentiment and macroeconomic conditions based on available analyses. Alt season refers to a period when old coins outperform Bitcoin, typically lasting weeks to months. Some sources suggest the current or upcoming alt season in 2025 could end around October, based on historical patterns and market cycle analysis, with an estimated duration of about 310 days, starting from December 2024. Others indicate it might conclude earlier around July or August, depending on Bitcoin's price action and dominance trends. For instance, if Bitcoin dominance rises significantly above 60 to 65%, it could signal the end of old season as capital flows back to Bitcoin. Additionally, posts on X reflect buried sentiment, with some users speculating alt season could peak in Q4 2025 or even extend into 2026 Q1 2026. I agree with that analysis. I don't think old season is going to top out until Q1 of next year because that's the 2017-2018 time frame. And right now, XRP looks like it's following that cycle more than it's following the 2021 cycle now. Bitcoin's dominance can fall, and we can go into alt season sooner. But I asked Rock, will utility begin for XRP in 2025? Current utility of XRP cross-border payments. XRP is designed to facilitate fast, low-cost international transactions, acting as a bridge currency to settle payments. Instantly, financial institutions like Sanders Holdings and others have partnered with Ripple to use its technology. Though not all use XRP directly, Ripple reduces operational costs by eliminating intermediary fees and pre-funding requirements, with XRP enabling settlements in 3 to 5 seconds. Ripple technology is great, but if you add an XRP, it becomes even better. It becomes faster and cheaper. And that's why these banks will utilize the cryptocurrency as well. XRP Ledger supports payments, tokenization, DeFi central bank digital currencies, and stablecoins. It's low cost per transaction, and it's highly scalable, 1,500 transactions per second. That's without interledger protocol stablecoin integration. That's the current utility of XRP potential for expanded utility. In 2025 is regulatory clarity. I think regulatory clarity is going to open up all these massive announcements coming from financial institution after financial institution. And I think that's going to push the price of XRP even higher. ETF approvals, I'm not a fan of ETFs, but I do know ETFs will push up the price of XRP. So if we're predicting a 20 plus run for XRP in a normal cycle, the ETFs would add even more value. Institutional adoption, that's another big one, because institutional adoption leads to mass adoption. And I'm expecting that institutional adoption to kick in once this case is finally wrapped up and they put a clear path forward in place in Washington. Regulatory clarity, technological advancements. Ripple plans to introduce smart contract functionality to the XRP ledger in 2025. We already see that with the EVM sidechain. XRP's compliance with ISO standards used for 80% of high-value global transactions positions it for integration into modernized payment systems such as real-time cross-border settlement. That's a big one. If Grok is citing ISO as a potential for utility for XRP, you already know ISO is going to play a factor on the price of XRP challenges to utility expansion is limited adoption. I think Grok is underestimating Ripple's adoption. I think the technology and the rails are in place all around the world. So I think what's going to happen is this. All the people that hate Swift, hate the idea of waiting days for money to show up on the other end, hoping that the transaction goes through, I think they're going to jump ship very quick and start utilizing the alternative Ripplet and XRP competition. And they're talking about stable coins, USDC and USDT. Now there's a chance that Ripple acquires USDC, and Tether is getting regulated out in country after country. So far, it's in the EU only, but Hong Kong's new stablecoin law looks exactly like MAI, and the US is going to have something like MAI as well. So I don't look at USDT as competition for our US regulatory risk while the SEC lawsuit is resolved. Global regulatory uncertainty could still pose challenges. I think the SEC has to come out and make that announcement. Once that happens, that's it. XRP will have smooth skies ahead, market volatility. Of course, there's going to be volatility. And they cite tariffs and interest rates. Real world events play a factor on your investment. I always stress that in my videos, even back when I first started making videos, because nobody ever factors in real world events. They always try to say this is bullish or that's bullish and try to spin the narrative. But the facts are the facts. Anything that happens with war, with tariffs, uncertainty, it reflects in the crypto market. So the conclusion is this: XRP's utility is likely to expand in 2025, driven by regulatory clarity, ETF approvals, institutional adoption, and technological advancements on the XRP ledger, combined with its role in CBDCs and ISO. 2 compliance systems position XRP for increased real-world use. Like I said, everything's lining up perfectly for XRP. In 2025, I think people are underestimating this cycle. I think we're going to see altcoin season's going to happen, but I think we're going to go into a utility run quickly after, or even as alt season is continuing on. Utilities going to start to drive the price higher and higher over time. And that's what I see coming. And right now, like I said, this could be the beginning of the next leg up for XRP, but I'm not going to call it yet. It's too soon. I want to see XRP at least break above $260. I know there's resistance at $2.80, 80 cents as well. Once we start getting closer to those price points, we'll cross those bridges as we get there. All I know is this is the year you make money as long as you don't sell too soon. This is the year that puts you on track to generational wealth as long as you don't sell too soon. And I stress that more than anything. I see so many people get frustrated in crypto. There's no reason to be frustrated when you're an XRP holder. I know it goes sideways. If you think this is frustrating, XRP sitting at $245, you should have been holding it at 50. When it went sideways for over 2 years, that was frustrating. What else was frustrating? The fact that I thought XRP in the run back in 2021, I thought it was going to $10 plus, and it was removed off all the major exchanges. And the case just started in December of 2020, and all of a sudden we couldn't break above $2 here. We are above $2. I think XRP looks very bullish. I mean, the chart for XRP is one of the greatest charts in all of crypto, and it's screaming for a breakout to happen. This is the year we make money. But like I always tell you, until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.